Hello everyone, it's Evan Petzold after a long day in Cincinnati. It was a 9-8 loss for the Detroit Tigers against the Cincinnati Reds on Friday, April 24th, in the first of 3 games in the series at Great American Ballpark. Some things to know about this game: it started at 6:52 p.m. and it ended at 11:57 p.m. This game featured a rain delay that lasted 1 hour, 49 minutes. And oh, by the way, in the final 3 innings, all coming off that rain delay, the two teams combined for 9 runs. There's a lot to unpack in this one, but first let's go to manager A.J. Hinch, who talked about the rain delay, the game, and ultimately the loss for the Tigers.
Yeah, a long day. I mean, a long day and a loss. You know, we were in a position to win it a couple different times, but the game turned so many different directions, and they got the last swing, you know, and they did their part at the end with 2 outs against Kenley, you know, which we didn't see coming, but credit to them for a 2-strike hit, and then they hit the ball in the ballpark. So 2 different games, one before the delay and one after the delay, but yeah, an unfortunate loss.
As for what happened in this game, Framber Valdez started. He struggled with his command, but he was able to get to a point where he was able to pitch into the 5th inning. However, he didn't complete the 5th inning, gave up 2 runs there in that 5th, and the 5 walks, he was able to wiggle out of it a little bit, but when you look at the home run that he gave up in the 5th, it came right after a walk. So the walks come back to haunt Framber Valdez. And then you look at the rest of the game, the Tigers, they scored their first 5 runs in the first 4 innings. Riley Green had a home run. Javi Baez had a home run on a 3-0 count. But it really came down to 2 players, Nathaniel Lowe and Matt McLain, 2 players for the Reds. They had 2 homer games. Both of them did. So 4 homers total between those 2 players, 2 for Matt McLain, 2 for Nathaniel Lowe. And the interesting thing is they both had 1 home run apiece before and after the rain delay. After the rain delay, it was Matt McLain hitting a home run off of Will Vest in the 7th inning. And then in the 9th inning, Nathaniel Lowe hitting the walk-off home run against right-handed reliever Kenley Jansen. Nathaniel Lowe being a good power-hitting left-handed hitter. And then you see Kenley Jansen just leaving a cutter middle up, and Nathaniel Lowe just deposited it into the seats. I think manager A.J. Hinch said it best, talking about playing here at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. You never feel like you're out of a game when you're trailing because the ball flies here. It's a very hitter-friendly park. But at the same time, when you have the lead, you never feel like your lead is big enough because a few swings and that scoreboard can flip. We saw that a few times, even in just the final 3 innings, with it ultimately ending with Kenley Jansen giving up the 2-run home run to Nathaniel Lowe. It was a disappointing ending for the Tigers. Another big moment in the game, we have to talk about it because it really was the turning point. Matt McLain hits the home run off of Will Vest in the 7th inning, and that was just a tie game at that point. It was 5-5, and Brant Herter comes in and he gets to face Lowe. So you get the left-on-left matchup, Brant Herter versus Nathaniel Lowe, looking for a ground ball there, and that's exactly what happens. A ground ball to second base. Javi Baez playing second base after starting the game at shortstop. He moves over to second base. Javi Baez playing second base, fields the ball, kind of backs up on him a little bit, which was interesting. But I thought he was able to regain himself. He seemed like he was just fine, and then threw the ball away from Spencer Torkelson. There was a runner on second base during that matchup, Herter versus Lowe, and the error allowed the run to score. That made it 6-5, and then an ensuing hit made it 7-5. And the Tigers were able to claw back. Shout out to Spencer Torkelson, 3 home runs in 3 days. And then Kerry Carpenter with a 2-run home run. So the Tigers were able to get back on top again, even after the Javi Baez throwing error. But again, the Reds were there in a hitter-friendly ballpark, and they got it done. Nathaniel Lowe off Kenley Jansen in the bottom of the 9th inning. A really frustrating loss for the Tigers. This is a team now that, they had a chance to get their 15th win. Instead, they're now 14-13, so they're still flirting right around 500. They had a chance to pull away and separate a little bit, but not so fast. They're going to have to be back at it again to try to create a little bit more of that separation in the record books. On Saturday, it's going to be a 7:15 start on Fox. The Tigers are going to be back at it here coming up shortly. It's a quick sleep and then another game between the Tigers and the Reds at a very hitter-friendly Great American Ballpark.